Welcome to Layin the Body podcast. I'm Terrence.
And I'm Lucas.
And we are the place to be for head rushing shots of hockey. Welcome back. This is episode 8, I'm pretty sure, if I'm not mistaken.
Pretty
8
sure it
of
is,
the
yeah.
podcast. And last episode was a rant video. Now, since that rant video, we've probably gotten more angry. But the Islanders are still playing good. We're not going to go too much in depth on them this time. We're just going to focus on the rest of the NHL, and we are going to make sure that we can appreciate the other teams and what they're doing, so we don't focus on our team and how much they disappoint us. But yeah, we hope you enjoyed last episode, and we hope that you'll enjoy this one. Give it a like, subscribe for this podcast, so you could get your weekly dose of hockey coming in every week. Now, let's get into it. We are filming this on Sunday the 28th. We usually film our podcast on Saturdays, but
Yeah, so a little behind, but
a little bit of inconveniences. And we were filming this Sunday the 28th after the first Islander game. And we were, like we told you guys, we were supposed to do a little bit of a post-game show after the Pittsburgh games, but unfortunately, things didn't turn out the way that we wanted it to. We were going to do it win or loss, but little inconveniences to where we couldn't come together to film it was the reason why we could not. But it's probably good that we didn't. But we're not going to go into that much, as we're just going to skim through it really quickly. And we're first going to look at the scores from last night, because we're going to try and just look at the scores, and we're going to see what were the highs and the lows of the day that was yesterday before we filmed the podcast. Now, first up, Flyers and Sabres. 3-0 Flyers. Flyers had a very good game. Shut them out. Shut out the Sabres. Couturier, Gostisbehere, and Lawton with the goals. And then Sabres, none. Got nothing. A good game by Brian Elliott, who's been very underrated this season. And I feel like he's been a big part of why Philly has been winning games over the year so far.
he's the only reason they've been winning games. Carter Hart's been god-awful.
Yeah.
But yeah, so good shout out there.
Yep.
Moving into it, Caps take a win over the New Jersey Devils in New Jersey, 5-2. Pretty dominant win overall.
Yeah. Pavel Zacha staying hot.
Yeah, Zacha's definitely staying hot. Nico Heischer's starting to pick up his
Pavel
game.
Zacha is someone that needed to break out in a big way this year, because he's been kind of a bust. But this year, he's been playing very solid. He's on a 8-game point streak, has 11 points, has 11 points in his past 8 games or something like that. And he is just on fire. Another person, I didn't mention in the Flyers game, that's on fire. Lawton has been playing very, very good. Couturier coming back, getting a goal from injury. But yeah, this team, the Capitals, I was watching this game sporadically, and the Devils were playing some good hockey, at some points controlling the Capitals. But the good teams like the Capitals, they go on once they get an opportunity, they capitalize on their opportunity, even if they don't get a lot of opportunities. In the third period, the Devils were controlling, but they could not put it in the back of the net. But then the Capitals, Verona got a breakaway that goal was the dagger to them, as it was John Carlson who just flipped it up. Verona using his speed to get around. He was on a partial break. He shot it and he scored right past Blackwood, and it was a goal for the Capitals to make it 4-2, and it was just a solid game by the Caps, solid game by the Devils. Devils fans, don't be worried. Your team's been playing very well for what they were projected to do. They've been playing very well. Mackenzie Blackwood's been playing amazing. Pavel Zacha, like I've said before. Jack Hughes has showed why he was the number 1 overall pick. He's been playing very solid. Vitek Vanacek is very good for the Capitals in net, though. Very good young goalie. Vanacek is he's been surprising to me. Lundqvist and Samsonov were supposed to be the 2 goalies when Lundqvist signed. Samsonov was supposed to take the reins. Samsonov hasn't been playing the best. Samsonov has not been playing the best, but the team itself has gone around Vanacek, and Vanacek has came up to the occasion. And let's just jump into the Capitals right now, right? The Capitals are very hot right now. They are a good team, and this team is just this team is just coming together at the right time. And what were they on again, Lucas? Were they on like a what type of win streak? I forgot how long.
The Caps. The Caps have been on. I don't even know the number at this point. They haven't.
They've been on.
They
a
haven't
big
dropped
win
a
streak.
game in regulation at least I think 5 games. So
Yeah,
they've
so
been doing pretty well.
they've been playing very well, and it shows by their record. It shows now they took the top spot away from Boston in the East Division. Now, if I go into their team, like, Nicholas Backstrom has come out as the stud he really is. I think Nicholas Backstrom is one of the most underrated players in this league, overshadowed by Ovechkin. Nicholas Backstrom is 24 points in 20 games. He's just so good. He's usually the one who always fed Ovechkin the puck, and everyone sees Ovechkin and what he does, but no one recognizes Backstrom as much. And I think Backstrom is a top player in this league. He's really good.
I tend to agree with that statement.
John Carlson, very good. 19 points in 20 games. Proved why he was a Norris candidate last year.
He should have won the Norris. I think that's bullshit from last time. But.
Still going through with that. I love John Carlson. Like how he plays. Could use a little bit of help on the defensive front, but a great offensive defenseman. I love myself some John Carlson. Alex Ovechkin, not really putting up the goals this season, but still a point per game. 6 goals, 10 assists. I mean, can't ask that for much more from your captain that has been playing for a long time. Tom Wilson, very good. TJ Oshie, very good. Just great depth scoring like Vrana, like Eeler, like Sheary. They get some good ones. Kuznetsov has been pretty underwhelming, even though he hasn't been playing a lot of games. He's been injured, but still would like more from him when he comes up. And then back to where I said before, Vitek Vanecek, who's been playing very good. Samsonov being out. Craig Anderson being not so good this season. Just like Vitek Vanecek has been saving this team. Young guy, undrafted. He is 9-4-3. He's 9-4-3 with a 909 save percentage and a 2.81 goals against average. Very solid. I mean, again, not like standout numbers here, but this guy is making the saves when he needs to make the saves, and he's making quality saves and keeping the Washington Capitals afloat without much goaltending depth because of injury and because of everything else going on. But, yeah, the Capitals are playing very, very good. I do like to always watch them, even though they're in the division and even though they are annoying. But we're going to move on to our next game.
And get into some... I don't really think we need to dive too much into this one, but Flames beat the Senators 6-3. Revenge win for the Flames after they decided to choke one against the Senators the other night. I think it was 6-1.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
Just another... I mean, that was a big game for the Flames for them to come back and just... come back from a loss and make sure that they get a big win the next time. And they did, coming up big on many occasions. And... yeah, it's good to see the banter between the two Kachucks. Yeah, it's all funny. All fun and games between those two teams. I always like to watch those two play, and it was a good win for the Flames. Matthew Tkachuk, Mangia Payne, Monahan, just offensive outbursts for the Flames, and that was a good win for them to get some life back into them. Next game, Predators and Blue Jackets, two, I would say, very underwhelming teams in that Central Division right there. And it's very unfortunate because both teams have great talent that they just don't. But the Predators ended up winning this game 2-1, 2-1 in regulation. Now Korpisalo gets the loss for the Blue Jackets. Saros gets the win. Ekholm scores 2 for the Predators. Someone that's on the trade market of recent. Get some trade rumors around him. I heard some trade rumors him going to the Leafs, which always apparently everyone is trade rumored to go to the Leafs.
I'm sure that he'll be traded very soon. They need to retool, so I'm sure Ekholm will be on his way out.
I think Predators should blow it up. I mean, the Blue Jackets also are underwhelming. I mean, like 8-9-5 for the Blue Jackets. I mean, Cam Atkinson scored for them. I mean,
well, it doesn't help when your star goalie Elvis Merzlikins is placed on IR.
Yeah.
So, I mean, defensively they've been god awful. Offensively they've been pretty decent overall this season. So I wouldn't say blow it up for the Predator. But for the Predators, I for sure would.
I think the Predators. I think everyone's on the chopping block besides for Yossi, and then maybe even I would say maybe Forsberg. I would say maybe Forsberg if you get a good return for Forsberg. I would say, but Yossi is an untouchable, I would say. I think Yossi's really too good.
I would tend to agree with that.
But Yossi's always a perennial no-risk candidate, no matter how bad his team is, and it shows in the stats. But both the Predators and the Blue Jackets are very underwhelming. I mean, both out of a playoff spot, both expected to do more with their star talent. It's just like, I would say just like more of the Predators than the Blue Jackets coaching. I mean, they lost, like, Peter Laviolette was a great coach in the Predators. Of course, he went to the Capitals, and the Capitals are doing very good right now. But the Predators signed John Hines, a former Devils coach, when they were god-awful, and they got the first overall pick for Jack Hughes. John Hines just is not the right coach. I don't think he's evolved. I don't think he's a good coach. I think the Predators he hasn't changed anything on this team. And, like, the power play, the special teams for the Predators is a reason why they're so god-awful. They have seen one of the worst power plays I've ever seen. And they just need to fix that. The Predators, I think, should blow it up. They had their chance back in 2017, 2017-18, and then they just could not. They couldn't do it. They couldn't beat the Penguins. Of course, it was a bad call that probably could have made a Game 7 appearance for them. But in that, it's just the Predators, they just lost a step. And, I mean, I do like the Predators. I do like David Poile. I did like Laviolette when they were there, but I feel like this team just has lost a step. And 2-1 win to the Blue Jackets. I mean, Blue Jackets have been underwhelming. Just the team has been a little bit on a rough patch, but I feel like once they get full bill of health, they'll be kind of better. But Tortorella won't let them do bad for long. But two underwhelming teams versus each other. Predators came out with the 2-1 win. Next time, the opposite of two underwhelming teams, two very hot teams coming together in the next game. 4-0, though, one of the teams came out.
Yeah, it's very rare that you see the Maple Leafs. No, I take that back. Not very rare that you see the Maple Leafs blanket team, but it's very rare that you see McDavid and Draisaitl be held to 0 points. As the stat goes, holding McDavid and Draisaitl to 1 point or less
Freddie Anderson
equivalates to a win for whatever team you're on.
Yes, Freddie Anderson's been on IR, and so Jack Campbell came back from injury as well. They had Michael Hutchinson playing for a little bit, which is not the ideal scenario that you want out of your goalie situation, but they were both injured, both Jack Campbell and Freddie Anderson. And Jack Campbell did come back for this game, and he put up the shutout against two of the top guys. You got McDavid and Draisaitl, who Mike Smith came out with the loss. Campbell came with the win. A great goal by Jason Spezza, I might add.
Fake slap shot. I saw that.
Fake slap shot going in and then just goes around him. I think Spezza was a great add for this team back a year ago. Even though Babcock didn't like him, Sheldon Keefe's giving him a chance this year, and he is playing very, very well. William Nylander scored Marner, giving his point streak, got 2 points tonight, keeping his point streak going. Very good. Not much to really look at this. Oilers, they can lose sometimes. They are very hot. They're still very good. They just, you wouldn't think that their problem would be scoring goals. They got shut out by the Toronto Maple Leafs, and the Maple Leafs put up a great game.
It happens to the best of them every once in a while. But again, their depth scoring isn't the best. It's okay, but you can't have McDavid and Draisaitl putting up the numbers that they do every night. Again, at some point they will do what they just did and not do anything.
Yeah.
Moving on from that, though.
We're going to stay very short on this.
Penguins. Just leave it at this. Penguins 4-3 win over the Islanders in overtime. Game filled. Islanders really dominated the entire game. Penguins had their moments and bursts, but Islanders really just handed the Pittsburgh Penguins the win on this one. They literally, on all 4 goals, were self-inflicted errors by the New York Islanders, literally just handing all 4 goals to the Penguins and really just handing away a win. Again, you have a 2-0 lead and then proceed to allow 2 goals in 26 seconds in the beginning of the second. Allow it to be tied. Ridiculous for arguably the best defensive team in the NHL. For a long, I've had a horrible night in my eyes, and you get a nice goal back at the end of the second. Go take a lead 3-2 into the third, and
we go 18 seconds in.
Yeah, 18 seconds in. Barzal passed it back to Ryan to
Pelech.
Adam Pelech. It goes through his legs, creates a 2-on-1, and that the rest is history. 3-3. Islanders had a lot of chances, couldn't capitalize.
That point was huge, though, like you said before.
Yeah, point's important, but guess what? Should have been 2 in regulation. Pittsburgh shouldn't have gotten a point. Pittsburgh didn't deserve to win.
Big night tonight, though.
Big one tonight. We'll get that in we'll do a little future vision in a little bit. But, big one tonight when the Islanders face the Penguins again.
Yeah.
Must win in the Islanders.
But
really, for both teams, a must win because it can flip the script entirely.
But good win for the Penguins. They went past adversity, and they won the game in OT, which getting that extra point was pretty huge for them.
Yeah,
to only be 1 point behind the Islanders and the
those
Penguins.
3-point games are huge nowadays. Yes. So getting into it, move away from that.
Yeah, we're gonna move away from that game now. But
I don't really think we need to dive into this one too much. Lightning really dominated the Stars in every facet tonight, 5-0. Stars have been looking horrible. Defensively, I just don't know what's up. Their game is they don't play a full 60-minute game ever. It's not even that their defense is bad or their offense is bad. They just one night they'll have great offense, one night they'll have great defense. Or like this, they'll just implode entirely and get shut out 5-0.
No, but yeah, I mean the Lightning are just everyone. I feel like over like.
Listen, I know this. I know the Lightning are again a top 3 team in the league, and I would say the best team in the league still. But guess what? Doesn't matter. The Stars, they've this was the Stanley Cup rematch. You can't be getting blown at 5-0.
Yeah, the Stars they've been underwhelming.
This isn't Ottawa versus the Lightning. This is
the Stars are only 6-4. They only have 16 games played. Now they can still.
I'm not saying they can't, but they've been playing really bad.
They have been playing.
We'll get into the little future vision though after.
Yeah. Next one, Hurricanes Panthers, and this is 2 of the top teams.
Yeah,
in
one of the better
division.
matchups of the night, and really
very good matchup.
A fun game to watch. 4-3 for Hurricanes are going to take that one on the road in the shootout.
Trocheck having a pretty hot start. 2 goals in the third. I mean, 5 goals in the third for both teams. Bean and Fogle scored for Carolina. Huberdeau, Vetrano, and Hornquist score for the Panthers.
Like I said, the game lived up to its potential in my eyes.
And then it goes to shootout, and the Hurricanes take out the win. And just a great game between 2 of the top teams.
2 teams to watch going forward for that second and third spot.
And it was just a very good team. Trocheck continues his hot streak. Huberdeau continues his hot streak. Again, you know how much I love Huberdeau. Huberdeau is very good, and that's just a good game to keep watching. Next one, Red Wings, Blackhawks. Red Wings got the win.
Listen, it happens every once in a while. I watched this game, actually. For some reason, nationally televised. I get it, Original 6 team. Great game. Nothing I can really say. Blackhawks played really well offensively.
Defensively, a little
Malcolm Subban was good enough for them to win, but their defense did not help them in any facet. So Red Wings well-deserved win there. I'm not even going to dive into that.
I mean, like, Malcolm Subban, their goalies are an issue. Without Kevin Lankinen, they just don't have a chance at any games, I feel.
Of course, but I will say, after watching this game, Subban kept them in this game and gave them the chance to win. Their defense just didn't help them out. Yes. Moving on, though, from that, one of my personal favorite games of the night, Wild Kings, take it 4-3 in overtime with a buzzer beater by Matt Dumba in OT.
That was a great game.
Yeah, Kirill Kaprizov staying hot.
Kirill Kaprizov is just a great player to watch. I see this guy's highlights. I see him during the games. He reminds me of a young Matt Barzal, especially with the skating around everyone. Like, he was skating around everyone, making opportunities and doing stuff. But Kirill Kaprizov is just, like, makes open space like it's nothing. And he just puts up great goals, puts up great points, just sets everyone up. And he's just a stud for this Wild team. Everyone thought the Wild wasn't going to do that good this year. But, like, Kirill Kaprizov came in. He's been a highly touted prospect for a very long time, ever since he's been drafted. He was lighting up in the KHL, and he continued it over to Minnesota. And like, it's not just him. Kirill Kaprizov has been the star of this team, but Joel Eriksson Ek has been very hot. He's actually broken out for once. Matt Dumba's always been very sturdy. They got Cam Talbot and Kakko Kakinen, who've both been solid. They've been doing a little tandem in net between the two, and they've both been very solid. And they've been keeping their team in. And who would have thought that the Wild would be 12-6 at 18 games?
Yeah, a surprising storyline there, but guess what?
Also,
they've turned it around.
We don't talk a lot about the Kings, but the Kings also played a solid game. The Kings are pretty solid.
They had a 5-game win streak. They just lost it, but they got a point streak going still.
Yeah, but they're in it. Like,
they're in to watch out for that 4th spot.
They're in that 4th spot. It's a kind of weak division there. in.
I think I had them in 5th.
Yeah, they're in 5th.
I know. I'm saying I think I had them in 5th from the beginning.
But Doughty scored. Wagner, Kempe, they just have very solid offense.
Listen, they're doing well right now. They got a lot of prospects.
Yeah,
Turcotte's a big one.
Turcotte's a big one. Quinn Byfield, 2nd overall pick. Just like they have, Gabe Velarde has been playing pretty good. Just like very good young guys. They have like a pretty. I think they're the second young. They have like the second best prospect system.
After they won the cup, they were crap for years, and now they're starting to have a.
I think they have I think they have the second youngest prospect pool or something like that.
It's
or
second best. You're right.
Second best behind the Rangers, I think. But yeah, that team is still very, very good, and. I mean, like, I thought that they were going to be not that good this year. I had them bottom 2, and I think the Kings are proving me wrong as they are playing some very solid hockey. I didn't think Cal Peterson would be this good, but he's playing very, very nice for this team, and he's a pretty big savior for them. But so on to the next game. After one of the best games of the night that I just said, we go into
a blowout. Avalanche 6-2 over the Coyotes. Not much to say here. Coyotes been struggling as of lately. Nathan McKinnon's going to continue his hot streak with another goal. But yeah, really good depth scoring in this one. Jonas Donskoy gets his 6th of the season, and Philip Grubauer with a nice comeback win for him.
Yeah, so the Avalanche, there's not really much to deep dive into this game. Just Avalanche, a great team going against a pretty subpar team in the Coyotes, who are struggling in their own right in managerial aspect and on the ice. So Avalanche, 6-2 win. Good game for the Avalanche to keep everything going and to stay in the hunt for that first spot in that division.
Now moving on to it, Golden Knights and the Ducks. So this one was a thriller.
This one was a thriller.
You were telling me about it. 3-2 Golden Knights in overtime. But
as much as the Ducks aren't really a good team this year, I still have a great time watching them.
They're a fun team to watch, but for me, I'm just saying it. Players like Adam Henrique's got 4 goals. Rickard Rakell got his 2nd last night. But
they're just underwhelming.
They
like
those
Maxime
players
Comtois is so fun to watch. I love Maxime
Comtois. If their veterans can pick it up, like Henrique,
like Rakell,
Rickard Rakell, even though he's a few years in, and get some scoring. They've got the depth scoring. They've got the young talent. They just got to pick that up. But back to what you're saying,
John Gibson. There's been some rumors around John Gibson being traded.
I think they trade him. As much as he's really good and he's great, guess what? You blew it up. Finish it on the back end. You can get at least 1, if not 2 first rounds for him. In my eyes,
you can get so much for him.
I think you can.
In my opinion, John Gibson is a top 5 goalie in this league.
I think you get 2 firsts and a 2nd, or 2 firsts and a prospect. Worst 2 firsts and a 3rd. Either way, very nice for the Ducks. You were saying to me though, Fleury is amazing. Fantastic season.
He's having his season last year was so bad, and Robin Leonard took the reins. Marc-Andre Fleury this year,
and as much as they've been going back and forth this year,
is going off. He is just on another one. He's just an amazing goalie. Like last year, he had an off year, but this year it's like he's in his 20s again with Pittsburgh. Like, he's amazing. He's playing so good, and
I'm happy to see the Flower do well. I never had a bad.
He's now like robbed Lundestrom a million times this year.
Yeah,
Isaac Lundestrom. I remember they played another time and he got robbed again by Fleury. It was like with one arm. The one arm save was against Lundestrom.
Yeah,
and then in OT, Lundestrom had an open one. He took a shot on him, got his own rebound, and it was not enough to beat the Flower again. Fleury has robbed Lundestrom. He's robbed the whole Golden Knight, the whole Ducks team, and it was just a great game to watch. I feel, and just a great game for everything. William Karlsson still playing very, very good, and everything's all good for the Golden Knights going in and keeping that top spot in the division
for sure. And diving into our second to last game of last night. It's a fun one if you like offense. St. Louis Blues take on the Sharks in the Shark Tank. Blues won 7-6.
13 goals. You don't see that often.
Crazy game.
We're not going to go over every goal.
We're not going to get into it too much. Both teams are what they are. Both teams are not doing great right now. St. Louis playing average and the Sharks playing like crap. But Bennington getting pulled after 3 goals in the second. Yeah. He tried to fight. He literally went over to the bench and just started pushing all the Sharks players. Went over, pushed Dubnyk.
I mean, I'm guessing
fun to watch.
Something. I'm guessing this.
I'm sure they said something, but listen, fun game to watch. These two teams have had very good games this year in terms of just thrilling games to watch. Not much defense at all, but a lot of high scoring. I know you got a 5-4 in there,
and the Blues are still staying in the hunt with that win. Big win for them.
The Blues should be fine.
Probably
nothing crazy.
Probably not good for the coaches. The game.
Yeah, I'm sure. But
Boudner was probably flipping. Same thing. Even though the Blues got the win.
Doesn't really matter when your team lets up 6 or 7 goals. It's a problem. It's something that affects.
It's a problem.
So
they still got the win. The Blues.
And it's gonna be 7-6 over the Sharks.
Yeah, so 7-6. Now going to the final game of the night.
We're gonna dive a little deeper into this one because there's a storyline behind it. But Jets taking on the Canadiens. The Canadiens are 2-6-2 in their past 10 as they drop this one in Winnipeg in overtime. I think you should start with this one.
Yes.
Want to give a little background?
So pretty much, of course, we're a little bit behind on this story, but Claude Julien, the coach of Montreal Canadiens, was fired this past Wednesday. That was after the second loss in the shootout to the Ottawa Senators. Now, it's rough. It's rough because the Canadiens were one of the hottest teams to start off the year. They were on one.
And if before these past 10 games when he's been fired, it's just been horrible. Mm-hmm. Like they just have it's almost like they lost their game entirely, and I don't know what's up with it, but they got to turn it around quick because
it's embarrassing that they're still in a playoff spot.
It's embarrassing that you're losing 3 games to the Ottawa Senators, who are in the cellar dwellers, as people have been calling them.
But they are 2-6-2 in their last 10.
Let's you drop a few, that's fine.
They are right now in their last 10. They are the worst team in the NHL.
Yeah. And that's something you can't have. You can't have those 2-6-2. You can't be going 3-7 in 10 games. The worst you can be going is like 4-5-1, and even at that, when you're playing guys in your division, these 3-point games are huge. They're 4-point games in terms of games that are ending in regulation.
4-point swings.
Yeah, that's what I meant. You just can't have it. And when you're going 2-6-2, there's no reason they should be in a playoff spot right now. But guess what? Their division sucks. You have Ottawa and Vancouver who are ticking. Let me phrase that. Ottawa's the cellar dweller. Vancouver is literally a bomb that decided to just explode in Vancouver at the beginning of the year with their goaltending situation. And then, what do you got? Calgary? Calgary's done absolutely nothing. Guess what? Calgary's right up their ass. They're like 2 or 3 points back. So if the Canadiens don't pick it up, I think we're going to see a switch there. But neither of those two teams, in my eyes, Canadiens or Calgary, deserve a spot in the playoffs. But horrible, to say the least.
No, horrible to start off, but like I said, they were one of the hottest teams. New interim coach comes in, Dominique Ducharme, who they're pretty high on as a young coach to come in there.
Yeah, my eyes, not the time to fire Claude Julien, but
they were. But you got to think about it like this though. They were. I think they lost 6 of the last 8 games when they did that. I'm not sure if they were
whatever the situation was. Listen, every team's gonna have every team's gonna have a bad stretch. I just don't think you should have done it. Claude Julien's still a damn good coach, no matter what.
Claude Julien is still a good coach. It was Bergevin who might have made a harsh decision right there. Might have made jumped the gun, but I think it was needed. Especially in a shortened season.
Yeah, not worth it.
Especially in a shortened season, I think it could be a good call.
I don't know, man. Especially for a team that is fighting for that 4th spot, and I think is going to hold on to that 4th spot for the rest of the season.
But I mean, just don't the Canadiens just had a great start to the season. I mean, this team just fell off a cliff. If you look at these guys and their stats and what they're doing, it's not pretty. It's not pretty. They just fell off a cliff as, like I said, 2-6-2. And Jeff Petrie is their top scorer with 18 points in 20 games. I love myself a Jeff Petrie. I think Jeff Petrie is amazing.
They've been playing damn well, dude. It's just they can't find a way to get wins.
They can't get the wins. Their team is underperforming in many aspects, especially in goaltending. Jake Allen's been playing very good, but when Carey Price is in net, he's been absolutely awful. He's been putting up the wins, but your star goalie that's making over $10 million has an .888 save percentage. Are you kidding me? That's not what you pay this guy for. He was a top goalie in the league, and he fell off. Oh my God, he fell off so fast. But the Canadiens do need to turn it around. Hopefully, this new coaching change will help them turn it around because I do like to see them do good. They're a good, fun team to watch, young team, and it'll be good to see how they do coming up. But since the coaching change, they've lost 6-3 against the Jets and 2-1 against the Jets. So they got Ottawa coming up. Yeah, they were embarrassed by.
So need a bounce back win to say the least.
Yeah, they do need a bounce back win against Ottawa. But to move, I just want to talk about the Jets a little bit too, who I feel like are under the radar, very good this season, and I mean they are just a team that I love to watch. I've always loved the Winnipeg Jets. I love Mark Scheifele in particular. Now, Mark Scheifele is one of the top players in this league this year. In 20 games played, he has 28 points, 11 goals, 17 assists. Just a protege of the game. He is someone who goes home and watches hockey on his free time and watches everything, does hockey, and then he goes to play hockey, and then he comes back and watches hockey. He watches hockey for fun all the time, and he's just like he was just a kid growing up who loved hockey, watches hockey, and he's now tearing it up in the NHL.
Sleeps, breathes hockey, and that's what makes a star player in the NHL.
And I love Scheifele. I love his game, and I love how he plays. I love his attitude.
Good dude on off the ice.
Nikolai Eeler's having a little breakout year, having 22 points in 20 games. I remember there was a little bit of speculation of if they were going to trade Eeler's.
No, but I've been high on Eeler's.
He's been very good this year, and good to show that he is probably not going to go anywhere with this great season. Blake Wheeler, the captain, 20-20, can't ask for much more. Always loved Blake Wheeler. Kyle Connor, Neil Pionk having a great offensive season from the Rangers. I remember that trade for Trouba. Now
that trade worked out
for both teams. I feel.
I don't know about that one. I think the Rangers overpaid Trouba. He's still a damn good player. But I think Pionk is
very good.
Player.
But Pionk's very good. I do like Neil Pionk playing very, very solid for this team. They're having very good depth scoring. Very good defense. Pierre-Luc Dubois in 5 games is 5 points for them, which is very good. I mean, this team is just coming out at the right time. They got a great goalie with Connor Hellebuck. I mean, Hellebuck is someone just who's playing amazing. Vezina candidate every year. And Laurent Brossoit, same thing. Just like there's a great backup for them. But the Jets are a very good team this year, and I feel that they're going to keep making strides to try and maybe get to the top of the division if they keep playing the way that they're playing. But that's all the games for yesterday. Now, if we look at the games for today, the game that just started, the Bruins-Rangers game, just started a little bit 10 minutes in, and the Bruins are up 1-0 against the Rangers. Charlie Coyle, we just saw that. Blue Jackets-Predators play today. That's going to be the battle of the underwhelmers. Flyers, Sabres play again. Just everybody.
Yeah, it's rematches of yesterday. Really, to sum it up real quick. I'm going to say it again. Game to watch. Islanders, Penguins at 5 o'clock. Probably the best game of the day in my eyes.
Yeah, but if you look at it, like Bruins, Rangers, everyone from the East Division is playing. Everyone from the East Division is playing today. Only the Red Wings and the Blackhawks and the Blue Jackets and the Predators from the Central are playing other than the East Division teams. Now, there's going to be a big day for East Division fans who want to. This is going to shake up the whole East Division if things go according, and to see how things plan out, because things could be shaken up big time with this day today after a few losses and a few wins.
It's a fun day to watch.
If you're an East Division fan, or a fan of hockey in general, you're going to see all these. But big games for all these teams coming up. I mean, more for the Islanders and Penguins. Like I said, very excited for today. And we're going to see how these teams come out on top. Now, we are going to end this off with our power rankings. Now, Lucas, what do you think about your power rankings really quickly?
I'm giving you my top 5 of the week. I'm not going to give you the top 5 for the season. I'm just going to give you top 5 for the week. Can you just pull up the thing for me?
What?
Like, whatever. I forget what you pulled up before. Okay, cool. Okay, cool. And yeah, I'm gonna have to say I'm gonna base it off of the past 10 games. Sorry for that, but thank you for pulling it up for me. And number 1, I'll keep it all relative. Give it to Toronto. They've been really hot as of late, and really for the entire season, top team in the league for sure. Number 2, gonna give this to the Minnesota Wild. They've been playing lights out hockey. Number 3, we'll give it to. It's a tough one, man. I'll give it to Edmonton. They've really turned things around. I'm really liking the way that they're playing, and now they're slowly starting to get some depth scoring other than Draisaitl and McDavid. Number 4, Los Angeles Kings just had a 5-game winning streak. They were literally just like 3-6-3. Now they're 9-7-4. That's great. And the number 5, oh man, I'm gonna give this one to the Carolina Hurricanes. This team finally they're playing well, but this week they had a pretty damn good week. So I'm going to give that as my top 5. Not for the whole league, but top 5 for over the past week and a half, 2 weeks. Yes. Let me hear yours.
For me, number 1, Tampa Bay on a 4-game win streak, top in the league. Last 5, 7-3-0. Very good team. Self-explanatory right there. Number 2, I'm going to go Toronto. Toronto, very good on a 2-game win streak, but they're always hot no matter what. Very good team right there in Toronto. I can't stress that enough how good they've been playing and how much they've surprised me over the past little bit. Next, I'm going to go with Minnesota at 3rd. 6-game winning streak they're on right now. They're very hot. They are 7-3-0 in the last 10, plus 13 goal differential. One of the top teams, very surprising team, and even over the past few weeks, they have been playing lights-out hockey. Number 4, I'm going to go with the Winnipeg Jets, who, like I said before, have been very surprising to me, who have been very good in my eyes. Won their last 4, plus 16 goal differential, 7-3-0 in their last 5. They've been playing some good games, been playing some hot teams, been playing some very good teams, and they've been putting up some good wins. So, good team to watch right there, and they've been very solid, very lights out, and they've been very good over the past few. Now, next one, I'm going to go with Edmonton. Even though they lost last night against Toronto, they're still 8-2-0, the best last 10 record so far. Very good team, and they are someone to keep an eye on, as even though they were blanked, they're going to come out big and strong in the next time they play. Now, 5th, it's a little bit rough. You got to dive into 5th and looking at everybody and how they're doing and what's going on. But I'm going to go with what you did. I'm going to go with Carolina. I think Carolina is very good. I feel like they're very underrated. And I feel like they're very underrated with a team with playing very solid hockey, very well coached by Rob Brindamore. Very good team in general. Solid on defense, solid on offense. I could have put Florida in there. I think Florida is doing very good too, but I'm going to keep Florida out of there. I think Carolina is the one there. I could have put the Islanders in there because they have been one of the hottest teams, despite from last night, but I'm going to keep my bias out of it. But again, my 5, Tampa Bay, Toronto, Winnipeg, Minnesota, Winnipeg. I actually accidentally did 6. I can't count.
That's fine.
But yeah, those are my top 6 for power rankings for the year. Now, for this past few weeks. So that'll be it for this one. You got anything else to say, Lucas?
No? I got nothing, man. It's going to be a fun day and a fun week of hockey.
Yeah, so let me know what you guys think and what you guys want to hear some more. We're going to try and make these podcasts a little bit more enjoying for you. And we are going to try and maybe get some video up. We're going to try and maybe get some things rolling. But yeah, we're going to try and make this podcast more enjoying for you. Leave a like and subscribe if you really liked it. And I'm Terrence.
And I'm Lucas.
And we'll see you in the next one. Sayonara.